up, everybody? It's the Outlaw John Rocha here with my immediate reaction to the She-Hulk finale. Just finished watching it on my TV over there. Jumped on here to record my feelings and reactions to what I saw in this finale. I'll have some spoiler stuff throughout this, so if you haven't watched it, go and watch it, then come back and watch this. And of course, the Geek Buddies will be doing our own She-Hulk breakdown finale. Not sure if it's going to be live, but certainly there are a lot of plans in motion for us to make that happen sometime in the next couple of days or this weekend for sure to talk about it all. But right off the bat, I'll say this. I liked it. I really didn't know what to expect. I was really worried considering how much this series has been hit or miss for me all season. I wasn't sure if this one was going to get there. Even the Daredevil one, which was mostly good, but then there were some things that I had issues with. It's just overall the comedy throughout the whole series hasn't 100% worked for me. And I was worried that this was going to be more of that, and they were going to kind of default to that and kind of get away with that and claim that, oh, it's everybody else who doesn't understand. We like our comedy. No, this one actually took an incredible left turn halfway through the episode. You know, we start out with the episode with her dealing with the ramifications of what happened before. We have this fantastic opening. I mean, for those of you who are not 1970s, 1980s, the Incredible Hulk fans, go back and watch that opening opening for any of the shows, any of the episodes for that Hulk. It's basically mirrored what they did for this opening. It's the exact same thing with the narrator, with the music, with the I mean, the way they shot it in 4:3 had that kind of grainy look to give you that vibe that it's from the past. All of it just absolute genius. And yeah, the opening of that series mirrors what just happened here at the end of the last episode with her showing her rage. So we're seeing the rage here being a part of this. Mallory and Nikki, as I kind of predicted, would be there to help her with her court case and what have you. And there's a deal here. So she's permanently, she can't be She-Hulk permanently. She has to wear the monitor. Seeing that come back. Also seeing her in the prison was kind of interesting considering she had gotten Emil out a few episodes ago. So a nice little craziness of life, the circle of life that you'll end up someplace where you would just help someone get out of. It's kind of weird how life can be that way. She has to move back home. She loses her job. Her neighbors hate her. So she moves back home. She deals with her very insensitive mom. I mean, can we talk about Elaine? Maybe the worst mom in TV history. I mean, your daughter has just had her body exposed, her private sexual life exposed, and you're worried about your fucking whatever it is, the Strider there in her room? Ridiculous. And then you want to show Nikki embarrassing videos as if she's not dealing with enough. So just Elaine, you can go out with the bathwater, for God's sake. She was terrible, but Dad was cool. Dad was understanding. Martin Lynn Baker, so good. And then Nikki getting that video and going through this intelligentsia stuff with Pug, and Pug being essentially recruited to go in there. And there was some fun sequences where Nikki is feeding Pug what to say. Now, I know there's a certain section of the fandom, Marvel fandom, geek fandom. I certainly had my experiences with them recently. They are very upset at these kinds of things, and the idea of a lady Thor, the idea of a female Hulk, the idea of that female Hulk being more capable than the original Hulk, the male Hulk, to do what he what she can do with her powers over what he can do with his powers. She's much more capable. The same people who complained about Rey in Star Wars, who's able to do all these things all of a sudden. And it's like, just all of that. I love that they echoed all that in this little sweat lodge that they're getting together at. And Jen takes off, goes to Emil's place, kind of taking a break from everything, wants a break. Wrecker is there, hands her some tea. But she tells her that he's down at that Emil is down at this meeting. So she heads down there, and sure enough, it is the same thing. And we think Emil maybe has turned, but no, we find out that he's been taking these speaking engagements as Abomination to like inspire people. And sure enough, what he was saying was pretty canned stuff. You know, you've done the best you can. You're going for it. Go get him. And so in no way is he being specific about this. So he's not part of the intelligentsia. He's just there to inspire people and make some money on the side. So very funny stuff in that way. But then Jen, of course, breaks in on this. And then, Todd takes the serum and becomes what he becomes. And Tatiana breaks through, and then Hulk lands. So for me, in that moment, I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck are they going to explain all this? And then boom, we see the breaking of the fourth wall, a massive breaking of the fourth wall. I can't tell. I know some of you hated that and some of you didn't like it. I loved it. I thought it was genius. It was a gutsy decision to make. Have her kick out, have it go to the Disney Plus main screen there, have her kick out her own little box and climb down into Marvel Assembled, and then go and confront, I think it's Jessica Gao, and confront everybody there in the writer's room, and then end up at Kevin, Kevin. And by the way, that's the way it is in the subtitles, K period, E period, V period, I period, N period. So it is, I already knew it was going to be some kind of sentient thing. So AI, and there it is, this little kind of sentient thing that comes down the middle of the mark. Anyway, she does that, confronts Kevin, has the back and forth. And really, it's about this idea of, I want to reclaim my story as a woman. Let me tell the story that works for me. Let me tell the story that I think is congruent for what you have set up in the earlier things. And this idea that it's Kevin who wants this and Kevin who wants that, I mean, that's been some of the pseudo complaints that people have had, these underlying complaints. Well, I wanted to do this, but Kevin thought we needed to interconnect things. Kevin wanted to announce this. Kevin wanted to show this character popping up to launch the next thing. So part of being an interconnected universe. So them turning Kevin into this AI who's been controlling all of this, I think was really well done. And her having the back and forth with him about the whole thing worked well. And her getting rid of Todd with the powers, getting rid of Hulk, getting rid of Abomination as Abomination, turning him back to Emil so we can confront things. I think it was really smart. And I liked the way that worked because, I mean, Todd turning into, that's so cliche. And I think, though it would have worked in some of the earlier episodes, I think the way they built out the world, it wouldn't have worked to have Todd do that. Having Abomination come to terms with this stuff, it fits with the character they've built over the last few episodes, where he's a guy who's like meditating. He's a guy who's trying to help people get out of stuff. I was hoping we'd see the return of the D-list villains that we had seen a couple episodes ago, but sadly they did not appear. And then it's all the confrontation of this and figuring this all out because she wants to get rid of Hulk because it's her story. She does not want to be used to launch things, even though, of course, later on we get Hulk's son and we get Wong coming out and taking Emil Blonsky out of prison to go to Cosmetal. So all of that, all of that is there. Or, sorry, Carmitage, to take Emil to Carmitage. So all of that is there, but she wanted it in her way. And I think that's fair. And I like that a female character who is breaking the fourth wall the entire series would absolutely shatter the fourth wall or smash it, as she said, and smash Daredevil, as she said, which I thought was a great moment. I love that she took control of the situation and turned the ending around into something that she wanted to have for her show, reclaiming her agency. And I thought that was fucking great. And I know some people might have issues with it. And I did have some gripes here because we don't see how the police show up. We don't see who calls the police. We don't see why Todd would be arrested. Where's the evidence to arrest Todd? So we don't see a lot of that. We just kind of go with what the show is giving us. So that's my gripe, I would say, about the episode. I would like to have seen a little more of the reveal. Tatiana videotaping everything. Is she all of a sudden friends with She-Hulk, even though She-Hulk embarrassed her at the wedding? So there's a lot of questions about that. But I like the Emil situation with the haikus and him having to sign the thing, and he's willing to go back to prison. I like that Hulk doesn't show up until the end, where they're having that Fast and Furious family barbecue get together with Daredevil. I like Daredevil showing up there at the end too, as well, in that at Emil Blonsky's retreat. Good back and forth with him, but then him there sitting around the table. That is the Matt Murdock we've seen before. He can let go and have fun with people that he cares about, and be an awkward situation trying to navigate that. So all of that really worked. And who knows if they're going to pursue this with her and with him and Jen, rather. I might be down. I wasn't 100% down with the last episode. I felt a little more comfortable with it this episode. So maybe they'll pursue that. But I mean, the whole point of this is just to point out how toxic fandoms have really kind of destroyed these female-led projects, or tried to destroy these female-led projects with their review bombing, with their bullshit. It doesn't mean that there isn't legitimate criticism. You can have a legitimate criticism on the construction of a show, but if you're complaining that a female version of a hero is able to do more, or is able to do these kinds of things, you're really showing your inadequacies, in my opinion, because most women I know are pretty fucking capable of doing a lot of things, and sometimes better than most of the men I know. So that's the truth. And I think a lot of men are afraid to embrace that truth, afraid to lose that power, afraid to be emasculated. They feel they're going to be emasculated rather than embracing that shit and rolling on with your life. It's not a big deal. I'm very powerful in what I do in my life. My girlfriend's very powerful in what she does in her life. And when she's right, she's right. And when I'm right, I'm right. And that's the way it works when you respect each other. And I think at the end of the day, that's what the show is all about, is like, fuck, I can have some respect for both genders and just go with what we're trying to tell. Give it some space to let us tell the story, rather than getting so upset right off the bat about the fact that a female version might be better than the male version of this kind of thing. You know, Todd saying you didn't earn your powers. You know, I have to decide if you've earned your powers. That kind of arrogant ownership of a project, or of a character, or of a story, or of a franchise, or of an IP. All of that just really, really ridiculous. So I like that they confronted it head on. I enjoyed it. I thought it was gutsy. As I said, I have my gripes about how they wrapped everything up, but very gutsy. I like the fact that we've got a Hulk son, which I think somebody else predicted that I know. And I like that we're going to see now what happens with Abomination and Wong. And it occurred to me with the Abomination and Wong thing, is Wong going to have a hand in the Thunderbolts as well? I wonder if he's going to have a role in all of this. And of course, the meta thing about it's peak TV and another show needed him to show up, that kind of stuff. But sadly, people didn't see Madison. So I know there was some upsetness over that. So, all right, well, there you go. That's what I thought was great about it. And if you all want to give me your thoughts about it, let me know down in the comment section. Well, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was ridiculous? Did you enjoy it? Let me know down there in the comment section below what you think of the end credit scenes. Hit a like on this video and share it on your social media. Put that hashtag the Outlaw Nation. And after you're done with that, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below as well. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you see we're dropping all the content we do on the Outlaw Nation channel. And of course, look for the Geek Buddies review for that finale of She-Hulk. We will definitely be breaking this whole thing down. And I'm sure all three of us are going to have some strong words to say about it overall. And maybe we can talk someone to joining us to hang out with us and have four of us breaking this whole thing down. We shall see. All right, y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. And I'll talk to you next time with another brand new video here on the Outlaw Nation. Take care.